Have you ever stopped to think about what you're feeding your mind? I'm not just talking about what you read or watch once in a while, but what you consume daily, repeatedly, sometimes without even realizing it. Have you ever wondered if all of that is bringing you closer to the life you truly want to live, or slowly and silently pushing you further away? For a long time, I didn't ask myself that question, and to be honest, it was because I already knew the answer. I woke up every day with my face glued to my phone. I didn't even need to open my eyes properly. My finger was already swiping on the screen, chasing that flood of dopamine coming from short videos, stories, reels, controversies, fights, comparisons, and headlines that seemed to scream, "Look here, you're falling behind." It was like my brain was trapped in a loop in an invisible prison. And me, I was both the jailer and the prisoner at the same time, but I didn't see it. I thought it was normal. I thought everyone did it, and they did. But what no one said was the silent price we pay for this harmless entertainment. It was only when my motivation started to disappear, my energy turned into smoke, and my mind became a battlefield that I began to suspect. I couldn't focus for even 5 minutes without wanting to grab my phone. Everything bored me way too quickly. Books? I'd give up by the 3rd page. Deep conversations? They felt exhausting. Silence? It annoyed me. And that's when a question pierced me like an arrow. Am I becoming exactly what I consume? That question changed my life. I started to pay close attention to the kind of content I was ingesting daily. And when I say ingesting, it's because what we consume with our eyes and ears enters the mind the same way food enters the body. And depending on what you put in there, you can either nourish yourself or poison yourself. I realized that much of what I consumed was negative, superficial, fast-paced. It was content that made me feel less, want more, chase after a life that wasn't even mine. Perfect people, perfect bodies, unreal routines, showing off, triviality, drama, shouting. And even when I thought, just one more video, just to relax, it made me anxious, insecure, disconnected. And the scariest part? I started to notice that I was thinking like the content I watched, speaking like it, feeling like it, acting like it, like my personality was being shaped, little by little, without me realizing it. I became more impulsive, more distracted, more reactive. I began to lose my own voice amid the noise of so many opinions, so many standards, so much comparison. Until one day, after spending almost 4 hours straight on social media, I closed the app and felt empty, an emptiness hard to describe. Like I had eaten a feast but absorbed no nutrients. And in that moment I understood. I was intoxicated by an overdose of content. I was living on autopilot on a mental diet that only made me sick. So I made a choice, which for me was radical. I started a digital detox. I deleted apps, silenced notifications, cleaned up my timeline. But more than that, I began to notice what made me feel good and what made me feel worse. And that's when the turnaround began. The first few days, withdrawal was real. I had a physical urge to open my phone. My mind felt restless, searching for something. And that's when I realized how dependent I had become on external stimuli to feel something. Anything. As if I'd forgotten how it felt to be with myself, in silence. But over time, the noise started to fade. Anxiety gave way to clarity. The time I didn't have began to appear. I started reading again, meditating, thinking more deeply, writing, being present in conversations, feeling more, breathing better. And maybe the most important thing, I started listening to myself again. I realized our mind is like a garden. If you only plant garbage, you'll harvest chaos. But if you choose to plant good things, content that inspires you, that makes you think, that strengthens you, you begin to bloom from the inside out. That's when a new habit was born in me. The habit of being the curator of what I consume. No, I didn't become a digital monk. I still use social media, still watch videos, still laugh at memes. But now I choose consciously. I ask myself, does this content bring me closer to who I want to be, or push me away? And just that, question filters out 90% of the garbage. I also realized something powerful. The more superficial content you consume, the less patience you have for depth. It's like your mind is conditioned to want everything fast, easy, pre-chewed. But true transformation lives in the depths. And it was by diving deep that I realized how far I was from myself. How much my self-esteem was affected by unreal standards. How much my creativity was suffocated by distractions. How much my peace was traded for dopamine from likes. But at the same time, that's where I started to rebuild myself. I began following people who truly inspired me, people who spoke with soul, who showed vulnerability, who made me reflect. I started trading screen time for time in nature. I began writing my own thoughts instead of just absorbing others. I began choosing what nourished me, even if it didn't give me immediate dopamine, and little by little I came back home. The home that had always been inside me. It was just buried under noise. Today, when I look back, it gives me chills to think how disconnected I was from my own life. How many hours, days, weeks I wasted feeding on distraction. But I also feel proud, because I chose to wake up, and if I could, you can too. You don't have to make a revolution all at once. You can start small, observing, questioning, honestly asking yourself, is this building me up or silently destroying me? Because in the end, your life is made of what you cultivate every day. And if what you cultivate is only noise, don't expect peace. Take care of your mind like you take care of a temple. It's the place you'll live for the rest of your life. And if you fill that place with garbage, don't expect to bloom. You are what you consume. And this is not a metaphor. It's the raw, naked truth. And if this video made sense to you, if it sparked something inside you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about what matters, about what no one talks about, but that changes everything, about real life behind appearances. See you in the next video.